The stranger with the trunk. Halloween night always felt like a safe tradition, candy, costumes, laughter echoing under orange streetlights. But that night, safety was only an illusion. I was 12 when my parents first let me go trick-or-treating without them, as long as I took my younger cousin, Mia, along. She was 9, shy, sweet, and always tagging behind me like a little shadow. Every year our families made it a ritual. We'd wear matching costumes. That year, I was Chucky, and she was the bride of Chucky, 2 creepy dolls holding plastic pumpkins full of sugar and dreams. We started early, hitting every porch on our block, our pillowcases growing heavy with candy. By the time the sunset burned orange behind the rooftops, we were already talking about the rich houses a mile away, the ones with king-size bars and fog machines. That was our treasure route. The air was crisp, the street buzzing with laughter and glowing decorations. But once we left our neighborhood, the crowds began to thin. Houses stood further apart. The silence between each porch grew longer. That's when we saw him. A car parked under a dying streetlight, trunk wide open, overflowing with candy. The man standing beside it waved at passing kids, holding out fistfuls of sweets. But no one stopped. His smile was wrong, too wide, too stiff, his skin pale under the blue light of his phone screen. "Come on, lovebirds," he called out as we approached. "Want some free candy?" I laughed nervously. "We're cousins," I said, trying to sound brave. He grinned wider. "That shouldn't stop you." Mia tugged my sleeve. "Let's go," she whispered. We walked faster, but the sound of his boots followed. "Hey! I said I've got plenty. Come on, just one piece." When he got closer, I could smell something, metal and smoke. My heart started hammering. I turned and snapped. "Leave us alone!" He tilted his head like he didn't understand the words. "You sure? I just want one little thing in return." Mia's voice trembled. "Please stop." I grabbed her hand and pulled her. Behind us, he laughed, not loud, but enough to stick in my head. "Go on then," he said, his voice fading. "Run home like good little kids." We didn't look back. Not until the laughter stopped. The street grew darker, quieter. Houses went black one by one as porch lights clicked off. My bag of candy felt heavier than ever, each step echoing louder. That's when I heard the engine. A slow rumble behind us. I turned, a car crawling down the street, headlights dimmed. It matched our pace, creeping forward, stopping when we stopped. I couldn't see the driver through the tinted glass, but I didn't have to. It was him. "Mia, run!" We cut right down another street. The car followed. Tires whispered over wet asphalt. Every turn we took, it turned too. "Maybe he lives around here," Mia said, voice cracking. "No," I whispered. "He's following us." Then the engine went quiet. The silence was worse. Something slammed into my back. I stumbled, catching myself just in time to see the man, the same one, lifting Mia off her feet, her candy spilling across the road. "Let her go!" I shouted, lunging at him. My fist hit his arm, his side. It didn't matter. He was too strong. He shoved me so hard I hit the pavement, my head ringing as I watched him shove Mia into the back seat. The door slammed. The taillights flared red. "Mia!" I ran, screaming, but the car sped off, no license plate, just darkness swallowing the sound of screeching tires. When I got up, the street was empty. Only candy scattered like confetti on the wet road. I screamed for help, pounding on doors until someone opened one. Police came, then my parents, then everyone in the neighborhood. Searchlights, helicopters, dogs. But no trace of Mia. Not a footprint. Not a sound. Just silence. Years have passed. Halloween comes, but I don't celebrate. Every night when the wind rattles outside, I hear that laugh, that voice saying, "Go on then, run home." People say I did everything I could. But I still hear her calling for me in my dreams. And every Halloween, I wake up to the sound of a car idling outside. The Pennywise on the porch. Halloween was supposed to be simple that year. A few decorated houses, some laughter, and my grandson's favorite chocolate bars. Nothing more. My name's Mary Ellis, and I still remember that night like it was carved into my mind. My grandson, Toby, has special needs, and Halloween had always been our little adventure together. His parents work long hours, so I'd help him dress up. This year, he picked his favorite superhero, and we'd hit the neighborhood as soon as the porch lights came on. The air smelled like pumpkins and wet leaves. People had really gone all out: music, fog machines, blinking lights. Toby loved it. We walked house to house, his candy bucket filling faster than usual. Everything was perfect, until we reached one house that wasn't decorated at all. No pumpkins. No lights. No candy bowl. Just one thing, a life-size Pennywise the clown sitting slumped against a tree in the yard, holding a beer bottle. Its head was tilted down like it had passed out. Toby froze. "Grandma," he whispered, "is that real?" I wanted to say no, that it was just a decoration, but even from a few feet away, something about it was off. Its hands, they weren't the stiff plastic kind. They looked soft, like skin under makeup. Toby giggled. "Can I take a selfie with it?" I hesitated, but didn't want to ruin his fun. "Okay, but don't touch it." I crouched next to him, turned my phone camera on, and recorded a quick video. "Say hi, Toby." "Hi, Pennywise." He laughed. "You'll float too." We laughed, then left, but as we walked away, I looked back at the phone screen. In the video, Pennywise wasn't slumped anymore. His head had lifted slightly, and his eyes were open. I stopped cold. My chest tightened. When I turned around, the clown's head was now facing us. Those eyes weren't fake. They were human. I grabbed Toby's hand. "Let's go." "Why?" he asked. "Because it's getting late." I tried to act calm, but inside I was panicking. I picked up the pace, glancing back every few seconds. At first, I didn't see him. Then, a few houses later, I caught movement. The clown was standing now on the sidewalk, watching us. The porch lights around us began shutting off one by one as people went inside for the night. The laughter faded. The street grew darker, emptier, colder. By then I knew we were being followed. I told Toby trick-or-treating was over and that we had to get home. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Let's play a race. Whoever reaches the corner first wins." He ran ahead, laughing. I kept looking back. The clown was closer now, walking slowly in that costume, the beer bottle gone. I pulled out my phone to call a car, my hands shaking. The Uber app said 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes felt like hours. The clown didn't run. He just followed, closing the distance. Every step echoing on the wet pavement. Then I heard it, the dragging sound of his shoes on the ground. Shh. I stepped in front of Toby, ready to yell for help. But before I could, something grabbed my grandson from behind. "Help! Help me!" he screamed. I turned and saw the clown, his mask up close, makeup smeared, real sweat dripping under the cheap wig. "Trick or treat, little boy," he hissed. "Let him go!" I shouted, pulling at his arm. He shoved me back, hard enough to knock the wind out of me. I stepped in front of Toby, ready to yell for help. But before I could, something grabbed my grandson from behind. "Help! Help me!" he screamed. I turned and saw the clown. He reached for a bottle, maybe the same one he'd been holding earlier, raising it like a weapon. "Take your candy!" I yelled, throwing the bucket at him. The sound of glass shattered. Someone screamed, maybe me, maybe Toby. Then, flashing blue lights. Police sirens. A neighbor must have called them. The clown turned, stumbled, and ran. I dropped beside my grandson. He was crying, shaken but alive. His forehead was bleeding slightly from the fall. When the officers caught the man a few blocks away, they said his name was Matthew Davies. He had a family, a wife, kids, and had just been released from prison weeks earlier. I couldn't understand it. A father, dressing up like Pennywise, attacking children on Halloween night. Toby healed physically. But emotionally? He never went trick-or-treating again. He won't even look at clown masks anymore. As for me, I can't forget the sound of that dragging step, or the way he whispered, "Trick or treat," before grabbing him. Every Halloween, when the lights go out and the street goes quiet, I close my curtains early. Because somewhere deep down, I still expect to see a clown standing under that same streetlight, head tilted, waiting for us to walk by again. The knock after 9. Halloween used to be my favorite night of the year. The laughter outside, the orange glow of jack-o'-lanterns, the hum of kids running between porches, it always made our new neighborhood feel alive. But that night changed everything. My wife and I had just moved into our first home, a cozy little house on the edge of a quiet street. We didn't have kids yet, but we loved the idea of handing out candy and becoming part of the neighborhood. By 8:45, the trick-or-treaters had stopped coming. We turned off the porch light, locked the door, and started winding down. My wife wanted to stay upstairs and read, and I headed down to the basement to finish some home project stuff, nothing serious, just tinkering. That's when the doorbell rang. Ding dong. I froze. Maybe a late-night trick-or-treater, I thought. It was almost 9:30, odd, but not impossible. Then it rang again. And again. 3 short rings, like someone impatient. I sighed, thinking it was just kids playing ding-dong ditch, so I ignored it. But the doorbell didn't stop. It rang twice more, then came the sound of knocking, heavy, deliberate, not the playful kind. Knock. 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 Upstairs, I heard my wife's footsteps cross the floor. She must have thought it was harmless. Then I heard her open the door. And everything changed. "Get on the floor! Now!" a voice shouted. Her scream tore through the house. I bolted up the basement steps, my heart pounding so hard it blurred my vision. The moment I reached the landing, a deafening bang shattered the air, not from a gun, but something exploding. Drywall cracked. A hole ripped through the ceiling above me. Dust fell like snow. "Emily!" I shouted, racing up the stairs. When I reached the hallway, I saw 2 men, both masked. One wore a red hoodie with a red mask, the other a white Ghostface mask from Scream. The red one stood near the door. Ghostface was pinning my wife to the floor. "Get off her!" I roared. The Ghostface turned, startled, just as I tackled him. We slammed into the wall. I wrapped my arm around his neck, squeezing with everything I had. He fought back, elbowing and thrashing, trying to lift the weapon in his hand, a short pipe. He couldn't. He was fading. Until his partner, the one in red, kicked me hard in the ribs. Pain exploded through my side, but I didn't let go. Not yet. He kicked again. And again. Finally, I lost my grip. The 2 men stumbled back, gasping for air. "You messed up, man," the red one growled, dragging Ghostface to his feet. They backed toward the door. "You think we're leaving empty-handed?" he spat. "Take it. Take whatever you want," I shouted. "Just leave her alone." But they didn't want the candy bowl or the cash. They just wanted chaos. The one in red raised the pipe like he might strike again, but suddenly, headlights flashed through the window. A car slowed in front of the house. Maybe a neighbor. Maybe just luck. The men froze, exchanged a look, then ran. I chased them into the street, shouting, but they disappeared into the night. The sound of their shoes on the pavement echoed for a few seconds, then nothing. When I turned back, my wife was sitting on the floor, trembling. Blood streaked her cheek, her hands shaking as she reached for me. "They were going to." She couldn't finish. I held her, both of us covered in dust and fear. The porch light flickered weakly above us, casting shadows that wouldn't stop moving. The police came soon after, flashing lights painting our walls blue and red. No cameras, no witnesses, no trace of the attackers. Just a front door splintered open, a house full of broken glass, and a silence we couldn't escape. Days later, detectives said it might have been random, a thrill crime. But random doesn't make you sleep better. Random doesn't stop the nightmares. It's been 3 years. We've replaced the door, installed cameras, and moved the bedroom downstairs. But every Halloween, when the clock hits 9:30, we still hear it, the faint sound of 3 knocks. Knock. 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 It's probably nothing. Maybe just kids. But we never answer. Not anymore.